incubation roadmap for institutes. And today we are having our esteemed speaker guest, Mr. Pradeep Dhage, who is Chief Operating Officer at Atal Incubation Center, which is Software Technology Park at Bengaluru. And is being supported by the Software Technology Park Initiative and Atal Innovation Mission, which is under the Niti Aayog. He's handling the responsibility at that center, which are related to core incubation and innovation activities. STPI next project implementation is under his planning and strategy, and he is responsible for rolling out so many initiatives under this STPI next. To his credit, he has one international patent, one Indian patent, uh, one copyright, and recently he has also got one international copyright, which he just shared with me. And he has over 12 publications. And he has been majorly involved in funding projects. So he has, to his credit, around 1.2 crores of funded projects, which have been fetched and run under various incubation centers. And he has also fetched a TBI funding of around 5 crores. 5 crores. So this is was a brief profile of Mr. Pradeep Dhage. So now the purpose of our meeting and discussion, as being shared with all of you, was to have a clarity about the different activities uh, that are being run under innovation and entrepreneurship banner. So we have our ED cell at our institute, and we are also having implementing various initiatives of Ministry of Education. We have our IIC cell. We have formulated our NISP policy, National Innovation and Startup Policy, and we are now in a process to launch Kapila. We are going to be a part of Kapila initiative, which is a Kalam program for IP literacy and awareness. So and already since 3 years, okay, we are part of Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements. Now with this in mind and with this in background, okay, we have met here in order to chalk out some strategy or some roadmap related to incubation at our institute. So we have an external incubation expert, startup expert, IPR expert with us. So I appeal all of the panel members to take this opportunity to have a fruitful discussion on all the activities related to innovation, entrepreneurship, startups, then this IPR, and so on. Okay. So now I invite Jagtap sir to brief about the initiatives of IIC. Okay. Over to you, Jagtap sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. With the permission of higher authorities, I would like to say that in our college, under Ministry of Education, we have started IIC in 2018, and we have conducted the various innovative and entrepreneurship related activities, and also have organized periodic seminars, workshop, interactions, uh, and also we have some other activities also like celebration activities also. This year, the IIC has made a pyramid of 4 stages where they are going to give the weightage of 50% marks to IIC calendar activities. And in the first quarter, we have already covered 3 activities, and the IIC will be giving us rewards if we conduct more than that. The 30% weightage will be given to the self-driven activities. There also we are expected to have quarterly 3 activities, and extra activities will be having the extra rewards which will enhance our star ranking. Then MIC driven activities weighs 10 percentage of marks, and the celebration day activities weighs 10% of activities. The IIC, as we all know that they have categorized the semesters into the 4 stages. That is, the first stage is the validation and the concept development. The second is innovation and business model. Third is the startup development. And fourth is the validation of the startup development. And accordingly, every semester, they are uh, expecting institute to organize minimum 3 activities, and extra activities will be having a bonus of it. Also, this year they have inculcated the various important day celebration activities like National Energy Conservation Day, National Pollution Control Day, National Science Day, and those activities will also be carrying the marks. We in our college have already conducted many activities, and this year also we are going to conduct many activities. But today we will discuss about, as rightly said by Professor uh, Naikwadi sir, regarding the innovation, the incubation, the IPR, the research and development activities, and regarding the Kapila. So this was from my side, Naikwadi sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. To open the discussion, let us move to that point which I was trying to put forth. It was about the incubation roadmap. So, the first question here arises is, since we are already having so many activities going under ED IIC, and NISP and ARIA ranking. Okay, but still the question remains is, what will be the defining line, or what will be the differentiating line between the ED cell activities and incubation related activities? So I call upon Pradeep sir to throw light on this incubation roadmap, like how we can put the blueprint or map for our institute related to the incubation activities. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. See, the initiative of IIC itself is a very unique and proactive one nowadays for all the AICT affiliated institute. Not only institute, but for the universities as well, AICT universities. Uh, in case of the IICs, as name implies, it is an innovation council. The first and foremost objective of this council is to promote the innovation and entrepreneurship activities. So, when the students onboard to any educational institute in the first year, he usually more than half of the strength of the student community thinks from the jobs and the respective secure career kind of an aspirations. They have such type of aspirations. However, when they go to the second year or maybe the third year, the role of IIC is very much important over here to sensitize the scope of the innovation in the area of engineering and technology. And this type of sensitization can be done by the ED cell or maybe the IIC cell, whichever you have in your institute. Or most of the institute have both of these committees or the cells. Uh, as far as this objective is concerned, again I repeat, to encourage and sensitize the uh, activities related to the innovation and entrepreneurship, wherein what we can do, we can start with some ideation type of events or hackathon type of events. Hackathon is quite a comes at later stage, but initially some boot camp or meetup or some ideathon type of events, if we can roll out in the capacity of EDCL or IIC, so that would be great. And as rightly said by Dr. Jagtap sir, is very true that if they can come up with at least three events, maybe per quarter or per semester, I do not know right now as per the schedule, but yes, 3 to 5 events if they can roll out. It is one kind of an hypothetical assumption from the government that if you roll out these 3 to 5 events per semester or per quarter, the sensitization or the motivation towards the innovation and entrepreneurship will be more. from the student in the student community. And obviously eventually this is going to benefit to the institute and overall, and at again at last at a bigger canvas, if you see, it is going to benefit to the entire country as well. And that's why very recently, if you have heard or maybe get aware with this innovation index, India has jumped more than 7 points or 7 steps as far as this innovation index 2021 is concerned. 2022 is concerned, I suppose. So which is very good. IIC ED can act as a foundation pillar or foundation kind of a platform for sensitizing and motivation towards the entrepreneurship and innovation. And later on, once a student or maybe a faculty, if they have that type of sensitization or the passion towards the innovation and the entrepreneurship, then maybe the incubator can take up this responsibility. And from that point of view, means once they have been get motivated, then the incubator can ask them to actually roll out or execute the activities related to the innovation and entrepreneurship. And for that purpose, whatever the help, end-to-end help they need, the incubator can provide. And I suppose with that intention only, the government have initiated multiple schemes as also. If any team who has been motivated from these IIC activities or ADCL activities, and if they can apply to the various XYZ scheme which has been very recently launched by the government, even from a few of the Fortune 500 companies, corporates as well. Okay, they can have a edge over there. And obviously, once if this bona fide student of an institute, if he is applying through IIC with the recommendation of IIC Council of the institute or respective AD cell, the further journey from the incubation point of view is comparatively easy, because once you have the incubation center, and once you give one recommendation letter, or I would say once you support that team from the incubation side, the other side, whoever is the investor or whoever is the fundraising organization or whoever is the respective government entity, they are going to listen your decks, they are going to listen your proposal initially with the very positive note. And this will obviously benefit to the entire institute, not only from the student capacity but from the faculty capacity also, because government is also encouraging the faculties also to work upon such type of activity. At a nutshell, what I can say is uh, IIC should sensitize the student towards the innovation and entrepreneurship. And once they motivated, once they feel that okay, now I have to do something in the area of innovation, product development, entrepreneurship, startups, fundraising, everything. In that case, now then the role of the incubation center start, and they can actually ask them, onboard the respective team to incubation and whatever the end-to-end help they need, so that they can come up with the product, so that they can come up with the GTM strategy, that is go to market strategy, for the patents, for the IPRs, copyrights, patents, so one and same. In that case, the key role starts with the incubation houses or the incubation center. And for that purpose, most of the government agents, not only government agencies, but some other private players also supporting the incubation center over here. So I think this is just the umbrella overview of this thought, which I felt initially to share with you. I would be happy to take a very specific questions or the specific queries if you have related to the innovation, entrepreneurship, fundraising, IPR, incubation, most important, incubation. So I would be happy to give the specific answers accordingly.
Uh, yes, sir. Actually, we have on our panel principal, sir. We have Dr. Vivharis, sir, vice principal, uh, administration, this academics, and we have vice principal Dr. Jagdish, sir, also, who is vice principal for administration. And we have in our panel all HODs and respective staffs also representing the IIC, ARIA ranking, and ISP. I think it is an opportunity to explore these initiatives. Uh, any so if I can ask one question, like you have been talking about this incubation center. Now we see that very few institutes in our vicinity, they have such a incubation center which is regarded as a section 8 private company. But since our institute, like, we have don't have a full-fledged incubator as such. So how do you differentiate a pre-incubator and a incubator? Like, can we start a pre-incubation center wherein all these activities can come under one umbrella, and in future can it lead to the like converting this pre-incubator into an incubator? So what is
I
your...
don't think that to discriminate in between the incubator and pre-incubator. However, what I can suggest you is that you start the incubator, and it is not necessary that when you start the incubator, you should have a Section 8 company. No, this is a later stage of the maturity. Initially, with the from the competent authority of your institute, Dr. Navle sir and whoever is in association in line with the Dr. Navle sir, I think Navle sir is sufficient enough to give the approval for that with the principal signature as per the policy of AICT. With the principal signature, you can start the incubation center initially. However, what you can do is, you initially, as you are at a very early stage of the incubation, you can start the pre-incubation activity. I'll tell you what is pre-incubation activity or the incubation just from the academic prospect. Sir, when you have the university exam, okay, but before that at college level, you used to take some unit test also, right? And you are going to bifurcate this unit test department wise also. You cannot take the centralized unit test because every department have their own schedule, isn't it? So every department used to take the decision to take the unit test, and after that unit test, then this is one kind of an I would say in Marathi we used to say it as a rangit talim. Okay, and based on this unit test, when you feel that okay, now the students are getting the things at the technology level or the syllabus level, then they can go for the actual university exam. So accordingly, sir, you can start the incubation center with the approval of competent authority and the principal, obviously. And what you can do, you can ask every department to start the pre-incubation activity. Now, what is meant by pre-incubation activity? You can ask the obviously you have to be in sync with the respective IIC coordinator also. You can ask the respective department to find out the students who have been already motivated towards the innovation or the entrepreneurship. See, giving the motivation to students and faculty is a job of ED cell. Giving or making or creating the motivation or sensitization towards the incubation, towards the innovation and entrepreneurship is a job of ED cell or the IIC cell. So what you can do, you can ask the respective department or respective IIC council to just give the list from the student community, that who are the, you feel that who are the already motivated or passionate student pool towards the innovation and entrepreneurship. Once you know, okay, out of these 400 students, let us take XYZ student, 100 student, just for the safer side percentage point of view. So out of 100 student, you feel that, okay, these are the 35 students who are already serious enough for the innovation and the entrepreneurship or the product development. Now I repeat with the quote, it is a product development, not the project. So if you feel out of 100, these are the 35 students. Now you onboard them to pre-incubation activity or pre-incubation program. You launch one pre-incubation program. In that pre-incubation program, what to do, what not to do, that part I will discuss maybe in offline or later part. I'll share one concept note of the pre-incubation activity to you also. Just mark in your notebook as a minutes of meeting. I will share that, and under that pre-incubation program, you can roll out this activity of this for this 35 student out of 100. Okay, now once you feel okay, under this pre-incubation activity, these students are doing some good work in the area of product development or some prototype development or some, I would say, proof of concept related stage. Now based on that, after the completion of this pre-incubation program of 2 months or 3 months, now you can actually ask them to appear in front of the professionals. Now, who are the professionals here? The professionals are nothing but the respective CTOs, chief technology officers, CEOs, or I would say some investors, some incubator professionals. So you ask them to appear in front of them, and you ask them to present their work from the last 2 or 3 months, what they have done, to present this work in front of those professionals. And later on, you can ask them to form the company now. Now, when I said the company, when you feel that this team is now ready to go for the company formation or ready to go for the startup even, okay, startup, then you can ask them to onboard into incubation program. Means pre-incubation is like a unit test, and incubation is like a university exam. I should not correlate this with the exam, but incubation program and pre-incubation program are just a kind of an tracks, wherein from the sports language, what I can say, you can ask the student to play with the tennis ball cricket first, and when you feel in with the tennis ball, this player is doing well, then you can ask them to play with the cork ball. So this is like a pre-incubation or incubation. So you find out who are the good and potential student or the faculties in the area of the innovation interest or entrepreneurship interest, and then once you feel out of this 100, this 35 are the first I would say batch of the innovation activity of the pre-incubation program, and out of 35 again you shortlist, and out of 35 if you can again at least onboard to 3 or 5 students for the incubation, that would be great success. Because from the government side, even 10% of the success ratio is the best success ratio for the student community. So if you have 100 students and if you can onboard at least 10 students for your incubation program, it is a great success. And for that purpose, you need a help of ED also, so that ED can at foundation level, ED can sensitize and motivate the students towards the innovation and entrepreneurship. And what we have to do under this incubation and pre-incubation, that is a later discussion. It has a separate format. It has a different types of activities which we have to roll out. But I think I need to take this call with only the respective incubation coordinator and the principal for that, so that we can have some the quality discussion for the activities of the incubation.
Right, sir. Sir, actually, that is true that you have put forth. Suppose we at our end, like we have finalized a few project groups, like they actually have that innovative idea which can be converted into a product. All right. Now, could you tell us about opportunity? Like you talked about that idea has to be pitched in front of like CTOs or CEOs of some companies. So, if we scrutinize such applications from our end and we finalize that these are the 2 or 3 groups which have the potential to convert into a startup, then is there any initiative from the government or some private organizations or some incubators wherein these students or groups can get a
Lots
platform
of,
to present?
lots of, sir. Every one or odd day, such type of I would say pitch deck presentations, and such type of investor deck presentations are going on. Right away after this call, if you want that, if you need someone who can listen the pitches of the respective innovator team, I can give you minimum 5 to 7 contacts. So
Uh,
yes, every one or odd day, such type of activities are going on, and the incubation centers are very aggressively working on that.
Even I think IIC also has this platform under the term National Innovation Contest. But that National Innovation Contest, like if for one whole academic year, the scrutiny of applications, then from the proof of concept till the final, there are many levels and stages. So I think that takes one complete year in order to get into that National Innovation Contest as a participant. But as you told ki, like there are many, so how will you get access to all these things, like whether is there any government portal or whether there is any certain site or you which you can tell ki,
As
like
far as this
wherein you will get to
contest is concerned, I would request you to ask your student community and the respective coordinators you yourself, Jagtap sir, even principal sir, vice principal sir, to be very much active on the various groups which are available on a LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best platform, what I can say, and a Twitter. You follow the some important handles on a Twitter wherein you come to know about the various opportunities and the various contests. If you follow the Twitter handles, that would be great. Why I'm saying this social media? Because this is available on the tap of your finger with your mobile. For other cases, you need to go for some email transaction and all those, but this take lots of time. However, LinkedIn and Twitter are just it is a matter of minutes to understand what type of activities or what type of scheme or the contest is available in the month of January, in the month of February, in the month of March, April, likewise. So I would request, and whatever these Twitter handles are concerned, I shall share you offline. LinkedIn groups are concerned, I'll share you offline for that. But this is from the contest side. What I was saying is that at your incubation level, local incubation activity level, you can every 3 month or maybe 4 month, you can schedule one activity named innovation deck or product development pitch deck. uh, and you can invite any one or two respective professional to listen the respective students deck. Deck means the innovation based presentation or the product development based presentation. It is called as a deck. So you can ask them to listen their respective deck and give the critics not only the motivation but the critics also, so that they can improve in near future. And based on that, you can go for the activities of the incubation. However, what you have to offer in the incubation, that I shall share. I think I had shared in the last conversations as well. But however, I shall share you how incubation should work or should function, what facilities the incubation center should give to faculties and student, and what are the commercials behind this, what are the non-commercial points behind it. Everything I shall share with you for that.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. You rightly said that India has now come down to the ranking of 57 from 87. And
Yes.
in IIC, near about 2,800 institutes have participated. And from that, 60% are from engineering. Means
Exactly.
there is a wider scope for innovation and product development.
Exactly.
I would like to ask you, sir, can we get some support or promotion as we used to get from your side when you were in the previous college, so that we can have a workshop organization for the students, guiding the students everything from idea to the banking sector?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
Anything, any
what is
support?
support for activities or support for
Workshop activities, workshop, likewise.
yeah, we can do, no problem. I shall share you few of the contacts. In fact, if the principal sir is listening, I can extend the expression of the collaboration also
Okay,
from
thank you,
my
sir.
side. We can easily roll out such type of activities, no problem. However, from STPI side also, anyhow, I have to get collaborate with few of the premier academic organization. I can put your institute as a one of the institute in my wish list, no problem, and we can do that.
Because the students from these suburban, or we can say rural area, they do have the talent, but they need to be given a right direction, guidance, so that they will bloom up from their inherent capabilities.
Exactly, sir. I agree, and I am 100% in sync with your thought. Even government is also focusing on tier two, tier three cities. Solapur is considered as a tier two city, and yes, from the economics point of view and the innovation point of view, Solapur has a huge potential, and your institute can become an pioneer, or I would say trendsetter for the tier two city of the Solapur or the Marathwada or Paschim Maharashtra region over there. Because Solapur yes, government is very much serious towards the development for tier 2 cities, and Solapur is considered as a tier 2 city. So you can take this advantage, sir.
Yes.
Your institute can surely take this advantage.
Yeah, yeah, sir. I think sir was sir wanted to put forth that point. Like when you were at MIT TBI, we had conducted two events. Like one was EDP program, that is EAC program,
Huh,
Entrepreneurship Awareness Camp for 3 days, and
exactly.
another was a Technical Entrepreneurship Development Program (TEDP),
Huh, huh, huh,
which had run for 4 weeks, right?
huh, huh.
So, but we had got a funding, like we got 15,000 for first program and nearly 1.2 lakhs for the second program. So,
Exactly.
such type of funding or such type of promotion programs, if now if it is from STPI, so what will be the nature of that program funding, and what we are expected to do? Like, what are the opportunities?
No, for see, I'll tell you. When I was in my old organization, previous organization, I had the expense power to use the funds. Okay, I had the expense power of near about 2 lakh and something, and the fund was being generated from my end. So I used to take the decision, and it was very quick to take the decision in collaboration with the other institute. Now STPI is a central government, sir. Here, as far as this commercial is concerned, everything need to get approved from the Ministry of Electronics and IT. So right now, I cannot comment on the actual fund and all, but the collaborative activity we can surely do for that. However, if you really want to raise the funds for the programs like hackathon, like for a faculty development program and all, I have a separate platform wherein you can raise the fund for such type of activity, and I shall share to you. You have to apply over there. If the respective scrutiny committee agree to your proposal, then you will surely get the funding. But the only case is that in previous scenario, sir, I didn't have too much dependencies to take the decision. But now here, whatever the other platforms I'm sharing to you, I'm not directly involved in the decision making over there. I may give you one NASCOM related funding schemes, but I'm not at all related with the NASCOM. I can give you one scheme under the CSR from the Azim Premji Foundation and uh, Tata Foundation also, Tata Trust, sorry, Tata Trust. But there I am not at all involved. But I can surely give you the suggestions, and I can surely give you uh, uh, the end to end and the best of the best mentoring how to file the proposals to such type of organization, where so that you can raise the funds for the events like hackathon, like faculty development program, like this one. But I'm not directly involved in that. As far as my organization is concerned, my organization do not give funds to the events, wherein we used to generate the funds from the sponsorship over here. Means like some companies used to give the give the sponsorship to the events and all those, and some government also. Means as we are though we are from the MIT, but now I'm at Bangalore, so Karnataka government used to give two funds to us. So it is very easy for us to be very frank with you. It is very easy to us to generate the funds from the state government or some municipal corporation or some other universities also. But in your case, I cannot comment on that event based fund. But what we can do is, if I get a good startup proposal or the product development proposal from your end, then surely I can ask you to submit this proposal to STPI. If our panel gives the green signal, then straight away upfront up to 10 lakh rupees of the product development seed fund or the startup fund can be given to the respective team. So that I would like to share with you.
Uh, Okay, so if this is the case, then is it that your STPI is going to incubate our like startup, whoever is going to get
Exactly,
fetch that
exactly.
fund?
We
So,
will support the support that startup or that respective innovator team, and accordingly we'll onboard them as a startup.
Yeah.
and accordingly we can go ahead. However,
Yeah.
they will be registered at your incubation center only. You can offer the bare minimum services whichever is available at your end, and the rest of services and offerings we will take care.
Yeah. Jagdish sir has some question, I think. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Pradeep sir, for a very fruitful information which you have shared. I have two questions. My first question is MSME is giving post incubation centers to various institutions. So,
Exactly.
can we apply for that? And if not, can we have the assistance from the host institutions for incubation of the products?
See, sir, you can even today also you can apply to MSME scheme or DST incubation scheme, Niti Aayog incubation scheme, MIT incubation scheme, even to STP also, no problem for that. But when you write the proposal, in the proposal format itself, there are some checklists which we have to match. So as per the checklist, they are going to ask how many startups you have supported till date under pre-incubation or incubation activity. If you have supported this startup, what type of offerings you have given to the startups? Is there any conversion of faculty to startup? Can you justify this? Can you show such type of success story? Who the faculty of your institute have started his own startup, and you have supported this startup. Though this startup is failed in future, that is a different story. But initially, they are going to ask whether you, being an institute, did you supported the faculty's innovation or faculty's startup under your incubation period. Acha, no, next thing is that do you have a full time professor who is going to take care of this incubation activity, and if you have, then since what time he has been involved in this activity. And most important, they are going to check the balance sheets of your institute, and in that balance sheet they are going to check since in the last three balance sheet, how much money you have spent on innovation activity, how much money you have spent on the various product development, project development activity, or I would say overall technological things activity, other than the exams and other than the academic activity or the syllabus based activity. For other technology or innovation activity, how much money you have spent, they are going to check this, and based on that they are going to give the approval whether do we have to give the funds to this institute for the incubation or not. And for that purpose, what I said, I have given the example of this Rangit Talim or the sports, is that initially for the period of 6 months or the 1 year, if you can continuously work upon the activities from the incubation center, and if you can maintain the record of that incubation center activity, then while applying to MSME, while applying to TBI, DST, while applying to DBT, while applying to any other government agency, not only government but for the private player also, if you are applying for this funding of this incubation, you will get not only soft corner but the priority also. This respective scrutiny committee will put up your proposal on priority, and they are going to check, okay, this is the as per the norms, and we can consider this for the second round of the scheme. And in that second round, you will be allowed to give the exact presentation of your activity in the last 1 or 2 year which you have done, and thereafter you can get the funds. MSME, yes, you can do up to 1 crore is also there, but no, these are the prerequisites which you have to match or which you have to complete.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Patel madam, I think has some question.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, madam. Good.
Sorry for the inconvenience, but this is Professor Thakur, sir. My mic is not working properly, so I am joining from Patel Madam's mobile.
Sure, madam.
My
Sure.
question is that, sir, lots of students are bringing the ideas, and we are doing projects on that also. But is there any authentic site or something that we can check the uniqueness of that
Uniqueness of what?
idea or their project?
Uniqueness.
Basically, we can think it's idea.
Idea uniqueness. See, madam, I would like to give the answer of this question in a different way. See, whoever is student coming to you, you being a professor, if the student coming to you, he feels that his idea is an Einstein idea, and we should not discourage that idea or his passion or her passion. We should motivate that. However, you being a professor at your end, instead of cross verifying the potential of idea, You ask the respective student to work upon your idea, whatever he or she has, and you try to justify whether this, once they come up with the first prototype, when they come up with the first POC, that is proof of concept, you compare this proof of concept with the MVP standard. Now, what is MVP standard? MVP stands for minimal viable prototype. Okay, so this is just an example what I can share with you. If any student come to you that I would like to this is my idea to develop the two wheeler, so you said okay, two wheeler idea is good one, जहाँ पे right hand handle के right side में ऐसे रेस करने से आगे गाड़ी जाएगी, ऐसा उसका idea, ठीक है, this is a hypothetical idea, no problem. Now you motivate them to work upon this two wheeler manufacturing. Now once they come up with the first prototype, that is a POC, okay, you just check whether this two wheeler is really having two wheels. If it is two wheel, do we have the engine for this prototype? If it is engine is that, then based on the injection of that engine, whether the out of this two wheel, both of the wheels are rotating in nature or not. So these are the minimum checklist of the two wheeler कि भाई उसको एक दो व्हील्स चाहिए, इंजन स्टार्ट होना चाहिए, इंजन स्टार्ट होता है तो गाड़ी का व्हील्स घूमना भी चाहिए. So these checklists are nothing but the MVP, that is minimal viable prototype or product. Okay, and as far as this MVP checklist is concerned, I have a separate standards or the format of this MVP checklist. I shall share with Naikwadi sir for that. And against every idea, if you can just compare this idea prototype with this MVP standard, then you will come to know, okay, this idea is really having the potential to go for the product or go for the innovation or not. So that
Yes,
that
MVP
MVP
idea, and
format
thank
I
you
can
so
share
much.
it.
Actually, I'm following that MVP idea, sir. And in spite of doing that, means I'm not able to understand these concepts. That means we are going to encourage the students definitely, and we are doing the projects also. But what I did at my level is that I'm trying to tell them to make the project, and from my side, I'm going to give them the modification, which is not present in market right now. And then I think so modification is also allowable, no?
Yeah, you can suggest the modification, no problem.
But again, my query, sorry for inconvenience, but again, the query is that how to check the uniqueness again. MVP will decide whether it is a two wheeler or not, but how to go for the uniqueness.
Two wheeler is just an example I have shared. If someone is coming, are you from the computer science or which department?
Yes, from CSE.
CSE. Now, if suppose someone is coming up with one web service application, and in this web service application, you motivated them to go with the first prototype or the first beta version of the application. Now you check the beta version of application against the market trends, starting with the security parameter, starting with the load testing or the stress testing parameter, and most on top of that, starting with the UI UX user friendliness, and you just compare these different parameters against this existing prototype, and based on that you will come to know whether this prototype, if you put in a market, then out of 10 clients or out of 10 users, how many users are going to accept your application and how many users are going to reject this application, and based on that you will come to know whether this MVP is whether the MVP standard, this prototype or this application is as per the MVP standard. So I have a software based MVP standard format also. I shall share with you against any kind of software applications or software product for which you would like to work. So just trying to justify the uniqueness or the sustainability of that application is nothing but justification and the comparison with the MVP of that application. Now MVP is not at all belongs to automotive or the electronics. MVP is the MVP, that is minimal viable product. मतलब उस प्रोडक्ट के मिनिमम वायबल और मिनिमम पैरामीटर फुलफिल हो रहा है या नहीं वो चेक करना, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एमवीपी. So in case of web service or the web application also, there are some minimum parameter. So what are those minimum parameter for the MVP? That checklist I shall share to you. You just compare the respective idea against the checklist and you will come to know कि ये आगे जाके सक्सेस हो रहा है, होगा या नहीं होगा. And MVP stage itself you can suggest the modifications. If it is not matching as per the MVP standard, you can suggest the modifications.
Yes, sir. That is understood, sir. Sir, now since you have handled so many startups at your host as a host institutes, Now, can you just share with us, like Madam has truly pointed out, like when we are trying to check the uniqueness or the innovation component, like when we are having a traditional project activity. Now, in order to turn that project into a startup, that innovation component is important, and that a business point of view, like a commercialization of that product. So, for that, since when we are having a prototype at a very early stage, okay, so is it that we have to have some IP component into that, like whether a patent or a copyright or a whatever that related to
Yeah, for
design?
patent, sir, there is one separate format called as a IDF. You may note down this. IDF stands for Innovation Disclosure Form or Innovation Disclosure Format. In that IDF format, 8 to 10 queries or the questions are there. If your respective innovator team or the faculty, if they can answer these queries or if they can answer this question, your IP application will automatically get compiled, and you are ready to file the IP. Maybe it is patent, maybe it is copyright, maybe it is GIS, maybe it is trademark, anything. So this IDF format is very much important. IDF, I would suggest that you share this IDF to all the faculties and all the students. And if anyone would like to file for the patent, you just ask them to complete this IDF. It is a two-page format only. You just ask them to complete this IDF form based on your idea, and once they give the answers to every query which is available in this IDF, okay, your entire IP application is automatically going to compile or automatically going to generate, and you can immediately file this application to IP office or the respective patent agent, and patent agent will take care of the further activities.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think Vyavhari sir has some question. Yes, sir.
So first of all, I guess sir for inspiring session and I think answering many of the queries of the participants. I thank
Yes.
IIC for organization of this function. Sir, I have one question here.
Yes.
So there is a we call it as incubation or maybe innovation, etc. So expertise is one of the important issue nowadays we are facing or everybody is facing. Another important thing, students they are not coming up with some of the many times because they have apprehension that my idea will be stolen by somebody. Of course there are certain ways are there, but my question is, are there any some experts how we can go for the expert, how we can make the available experts or that to reliable experts?
I got your question, sir. For that, I would like to share some document to you. This is very important from the academic stakeholders' point of view. Uh, can I get access to share the screen? Yes, I can share.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. I'll stop presenting.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
yes,
It
it's
is
visible.
visible.
Okay, okay. Just give me a minute. Is it visible? Uh,
Yes, sir.
so, sir, Vyavhari sir, as you rightly asked, every students or most of the academic stakeholders have one kind of an edge or a reluctance to share the information of their ideas or their project. That is okay. We human beings, being an at initial level of the innovation, this type of reluctance everyone used to experience. But for that, there is one format called as a NDA, that is called non-disclosure agreement. Sir, I'm showing this agreement over here. You can ask the respective student to fill this agreement format here. Now this is with the capture menu, which I have done very recently, but this is the student name and faculty name, and whichever the faculty or the student they are working upon the respective idea, you can put their respective names. This is a ready-made format. You can ask them, and here everything has been written. That's who is the disclosing party, who is the receiving party of that information, from which effective date it has been shared. So this is one kind of I would say a non-gazetted agreement which every stakeholder can sign, can share in between the two parties, maybe at university level, institute level, departmental level, faculty to faculty level, I would say, or student to faculty level, and who is going to get the ownership of that, what are the different terms and condition for that. Everything has been written. So it is a standard NDA, that is called non-disclosure agreement. So what is non-disclosure agreement? It is called, so this is very much important, that if anyone would like to share his or her Einstein idea, I would typically quote this keyword, because everyone used to carry the pride of the respective idea. So if they are going to share their idea with the someone, a third party or the second party, then initially they can ask to share this NDA, sign this NDA, and after that only they can go ahead with the idea sharing or the prototype sharing. However, you asked about the expert for that. For that, I would like to share, not this one. Yeah, for that, what I can say is there are some experts, obviously, who are more interested in the potential of idea rather than the idea, because they every day used to listen more than 40 to 50 ideas in a week, not every day, but every week. So they are not interested in the ownership of the idea or the piracy of the idea, I would say. I would like to quote this: piracy of the idea. But they are more interested in the outcome of that idea. Idea तो सबके पास हो सकती है, but the problem is the implementation of idea is the real challenge. If I say that this is my idea, I can create the invisible mouse, wherein if I move my finger, then the mouse pointer from the screen is going to. So this is a good idea. But the problem is that how we are going to implement that idea. So that is more important. So most of the experts are very much interested in the implementation and the result part of the idea rather than the idea. So, and for that purpose, initially what you can do is that you can ask to respective expert. There are some expert from the incubation side is also there. Some government is also there. But now they are going to listen your idea when you have the prototype ready with you. When you have something to demonstrate in front of them, then only they are going to listen and they are going to give their time to your team. As far as the ideation stage proposal, initially NDA जो मैंने आपको दिखाया, that NDA you can share, non-disclosure agreement, and thereafter you can work collaboratively with the respective third party or the second party stakeholder, and you can go ahead. However, this NDA format is concerned, I shall share this NDA format to Naikwadi sir later on. And Naikwadi sir, I would request this share this NDA format to all the faculties and the students, so that they will not having any kind of an reluctance to share their respective idea. The problem which I have also faced during my academic career is that, yes, I agree, 100% agree, that most of the students and the faculties used to have a kind of an reluctance kind of an psychology during the information sharing or the idea sharing. So it is okay, but NDA, surely we can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I will be sharing, sir, whatever document which you had told just now, that is NDA and also IDF. Okay, if you could share
I
these two
forget to
formats.
show you this IDF also, as I have the access to share the screen. I will show you the IDF format also. So it will be easy to understand what is this IDF and what about. Just give me some time. IDF is. Yes, this is innovation disclosure notes or innovation disclosure form, IDF form. In that, who is the applicant, that जिसको भी IP करना है या फिर patent, copyright, whoever would like to submit, the name of the respective patent stakeholders you have to mention with the organization and the department name, nationality, and email phone number. Nationality is very much important over here, though it is common for all we Indian, but it is very important to mention this. Next one is now idea forms. Actual idea format starts with B block, particulars of invention. You have to mention the title of invention, general purpose invention, what problem does it solve. You have to mention only in 2 or 3 lines. technical description of invention, description of existing technology that is similar to invention or attempt to solve the same problem. How does invention differ from the present? Kuch literature survey, if you have done something, then you can mention the difference also, how your invention is different than the existing. If it is existing, then compare it. If it is not existing, then you have to mention it is not existed. Particulars of the features, different characteristics of the features you have to mention over here. You have to list some hypothetical products or the services which are in close relevance with your idea or the product or the project. If such type of product or the services are available in market, then you have to just mention the list over here. Any flowchart, algorithm, process, diagram, if anything is available, just mention over here. Any hardware component which you are using, then you have to mention the hardware component list over here. And what is the claim against your idea? आपने वो बना तो दिया, but that is fine. But what is your claim for the patent? What you would like to do with this patent? What is your claim that you have to mention? Then any additional information if you would like to submit. So that is 3 to 4 pages there, depend on the size of your idea. This idea form is going to vary, and accordingly you can go ahead. So once you give the answer of these queries, your IP application is automatically going to form, automatically going to generate, and you can straight away, this is a ready form, ready application which you can directly submit on a IP office also, IP website also. So likewise, you can go ahead, sir. IDF and NDA.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving the
Thank you,
clear
sir.
idea of ISO.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, one more thing. Like this is a question which is for very very far-sighted one. If we have a startup, okay, if we have a IP, then when we are when we are applying for ARIA rankings, majority of the weightage it is being given to IP commercialization and technology transfers. Okay, so see, we being a very novice institute, like at our end, no, much of the weightage is for this. So what will be the roadmap? Like, what do you think? Like in the long run,
The very
to
best
reach
way
at
you
this
can,
stage?
yeah, I got your query, sir. The very best way you can do is start the pre-incubation activity under your incubation. You take the help of the ED cell and IIC, and you ask them to share the list of the already passionate, motivated student pool or the student club, and you ask them, you take one meeting with them. Whatever the problem statements they have, you just listen their problem statement, and I will share one MVP format, as I said to one of the madam very recently. I will share that MVP format to you. You just check, you just have the comparative analysis whether the respective idea is as per this MVP standard or not. And if the 50% of the idea is matching with your MVP standard, you just ask them to immediately uh, complete this IDF form, that is innovation disclosure form. Once this innovation disclosure form is completed, okay, you can immediately contact one IP attorney, or and with the help of the IP attorney, you can immediately file the patent. So filing a patent is nowadays in 2022, it is not a big deal, sir. Before 5 to 6 years ago, it was really a kind of an headache procedure, but right now it is very easy. The filing an application of the IP is very easy nowadays. So likewise, you can go ahead. So with the pre-incubation activity, you can go ahead, and once you feel that this idea has been converted into the project, or the idea has been converted into the small lab prototype also, then based on the suggestions from the respective professionals, you can onboard them to incubation program also, and under incubation you can straight away start giving the various services and the offerings, starting with some cubicle space to work cubicle space to the team, then some mentoring, dedicated mentoring from the legal, finance, and some technology. If you need some mentors for that, I shall share some resources to you who can mentor your student. Only expectation is that the respective student innovation should not be in an idea stage, they should be at least in a prototyping stage. and thereafter how to convert that prototype into project and project into product. That mentor will take care from your incubation side, and they will guide your respective innovator team or the startup team to go ahead. So as far as this IP from the ARIA point of view is concerned, just immediately launch the pre-incubation program for the 2 to 3 month as a part of cohort, I would say. And under that, you make sure that their idea is converted at least into the prototype or the POC. And once they come up with the POC or the prototype, and if they are matching the milestone of the MVP, then immediately you ask them to fill up the idf form, and you submit that idf to patent office or patent website, I would say. Nowadays online also you can do, you need not have to rush towards the patent office. So everything is online. You just visit to patent office, and you can create your own account also over there, or in the name of institute account also you can create over there, and you can file the patent immediately, which will be helpful for your ARIA ranking and all.
Yes, thank you, sir. I would like to take this forum as an opportunity to also share with you that I think most of you are knowing about that Kapila program, Kalam initiative for IP literacy and awareness. So even MOE initiative is also there for IP promotion.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that can also be one of the platform wherein we can because
Yes.
I think we are getting a fund of 5,600 rupees per patent per application, and a total of 10 applications are going to be funded by this
Exactly.
MOE.
Exactly.
So 56,000 funding is at our disposal for 1 year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So here you means Kapila cell, whichever you have, or council, whichever you have. This council means incubation, your incubation activity or the incubation club, whatever you have, or they need to be in sync with this Kapila coordinator or the Kapila in charge, and you need to go ahead for this ARIA related activities for that. And for filing the patent at backend, see, Kapila is doing the governance and the governing operations, so that they can get the funds from the MOE and all. But at backend side, how to file, how to prepare the patent application, how to prepare the I would say IDF application, that you need that incubation can take care of this activity. And once they come up with this IDF, you just verify it, and once you verify, then you forward this to Kapila, and then later on Kapila will take care.
Yes, sir. Any questions again we have on this topic?
Sir, shall I speak something?
Please, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Great. First of all, once again, thank you, Mr. Pradeep. Actually, I'm listening to you since last more than 1 hour actually, and I was
Thank you,
very
sir.
keen to know, and I have noted most of the points, whatever you told us.
Thank
Actually,
you.
this is very important. You told about IDF and NDA also, non-disclosure agreement, because that was the point of worry for most of the we can say researcher basically. Every student and every actual faculty also they are researcher, and they want to know their documents will be kept, the secrecy will be maintained. And of course, like you have told us, what are the options to get the funding from different funding agencies. First of all, actually, since we have a little bit structure with us, we have of course in line with the government of India's initiative, like IIS is one of them, then NISP is there. We are always applying to ARIA, and we're getting good ranking also. And for our IIC also, we have got good rating. But of course, we are not satisfied, and we should never be, because we want to go ahead. And we are there to what we can say, we to create that kind of environment among the faculty members and to among the student also. Some of the students are positively coming up, but till we can say that we are not fully percolated, or it has not been taken that way what we are expecting by the student side. And for that, rigorous activities are expected. As you have suggested, one of the very important activity, I have noted it, that we should have innovation deck. as you have mentioned, we should invite the students who have the innovative ideas. And you have given very good example. We used to have the unit test at the department level before going for the final examination. That kind of, like, at every department we are required to find out innovative projects or innovative ideas. We should call some of the experts who can judge the ideas, and if they really find okay, it's a worth to go ahead, then of course we can think of that. And of course we are basically lagging in getting the funding, but you have told us what are the different ways to get to raise the funding also. We'll definitely sit together, we'll work on it. Whatever formats you have circulated or you will be circulating to Professor Nakodi, we'll be going through all the formats, and we are thinking to go one step ahead.
Yes.
By this time we are only conducting the program, we are creating the awareness, but the outcomes are not that way. We could not observe that way the outcomes. So we'll go ahead. Of course we will require your help and guidance at every stage, and I'm sure that
Sure,
you
sir,
will be
sure.
definitely guiding us.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah. All our the members who are there right now in this meeting are keen to do something extra, to do to get and you have interacted with our most of the teachers also, most of the students also, and most of the coordinators also. You know that we are very positive in that way, to take every idea. We from our side only we're lagging somewhere, but it's I can say that in between for 5 to 6 months period, Professor Naikodi was not with us. That was basically we were feeling somewhere lacking. But now since he is there with us, of course, because he's the person being as he is associated with you, and you have given very good insight to him, and he has rightly understood the psychology. And always whenever we used to discuss, he has something new initiative. So again we'll be coming up and we'll be taking very good initiatives whenever we'll be having this. Of course this innovative deck I have thought it should be the first priority. And of course the second one, as you are told about about IP, for IP also we should go ahead. And this Kapila is one of the very good initiative from government of India, which will help us. And this IP sale, actually that way we have not formed, though we are having an SP and all those things. IP sale is
IP
required.
cell can be a part and parcel of the incubation itself, because
Yes.
the reason I'll tell you why it is closely related with incubation. When the incubation centers say to outside world that we have the IP sale, and this IP sale have gone through this application of based on this IDF format,
Yes.
then the respective stakeholder, maybe the commercial stakeholder or maybe the business stakeholder, they are going to take this as a positive, on a positive note.
Yeah.
If you say it is from the government internal academic council have gone through this one, then they will feel that okay, IP is more towards the product and the commercial part of this novelty, where the academic council have done this, means their psychology is something different for the academic councils for that. But yes, when you say being an academic institution, incubation center have done this back-end scrutiny and all, then
Yes.
obviously out of 100 people, more than 80 people are going to take this on a positive note for the initial screening of the understanding. So
Yes.
that's why IP sales should be in sync with or it should be a part and parcel of the incubation. Whereas there is a keyword for this IP sale for the incubation center, which is all used by most of the IITs and NIT, that is called IP Felicitation Center, empowered
Okay.
by incubation.
IP Felicitation Center.
IFC.
IFC. Okay.
So IP Felicitation Center is nothing but one kind of an extension to the incubation center.
Oh, okay.
So when the IP Felicitation Center gives the approval that, or gives the green signal that this idea form is been already have done the blind search on this idea form and all those, then the respective IP attorney and the respective commercial stakeholder are going to take this on a positive note. Suppose
Okay.
if you come to me, any of your student team or faculty team come to me, and
Hmm.
when you present your innovation deck in front of me, so
Hmm.
me as a technology evangelist, if I see your proposal and in that proposal, if I come to know, okay, this incubation center IFC have done the backend scrutiny, then I'm going to take this on a positive. Okay, this is fine.
Okay, great.
So
So,
according,
yes, as you mentioned about this, of course, will be this is very good technical word, because this when we will be using these kind of technical words, keywords, there are chances that people will understand. Okay, they are aware of.
yes, sir.
That's a very good thing you told us. Now, the second thing, as I told you, we will be definitely taking up innovation deck. So, when we will be having, we will organize innovation deck. Is there any proper format from the
I
either
have.
STI side or
I
from the
have, sir.
government
I
side?
have. I have,
Yes,
and
yes.
it is there is no license limitations for that. I shall share to Naikwadi, sir. You
Great,
can
great.
use your own logo, your whatever the credentials you would like to use for that format, and you can publish for the public.
Okay, okay. That will be
I
very
will
good.
share.
That will be
I
good.
will share, sir. No
Yes,
problem.
yes, yes.
नायकुडे सर प्लीज हे पण मला सांगा तुम्ही हे मला द्यायचं आहे.
Yes, yes. And one more, as of course, as you have already mentioned, like in Solapur region, this is tier 2 city, and government is very keen to give the funding in this kind of cities. And of course, I'm thinking to take our initiative as a regional coordinator in this concept. So in that way, if we are to go ahead, maybe we'll be thinking of organizing this kind of event not only for our own student, but probably the students of other colleges also. So in that case, is there any kind of initiative either from STPI side or from any other organization who can guide us or who can help us to coordinate this kind of event?
So at individual capacity, I can assure you that you must start with one activity named Innovation Summit.
Okay, yeah. Innovation Summit.
You can tag this name as a Innovation Summit, not
Yeah,
only for your institute. If possible, you can expand the scope of this activity to entire university as well.
great.
Under this Innovation Summit, what is the format of this Innovation Summit? What are the resource persons you would like to rope in?
Mhm.
How the students are going to work upon this Innovation Summit? That I shall share you maybe in a separate discussion.
Okay,
खूप
okay.
छान सुंदर एक Innovation Summit very recently we had done with the MIT.
Great.
आता मी तिथं ऍज अ इव्हॅल्युएटर म्हणून पण काम केलंय, ऍज अ मेंटर म्हणून पण काम केलं.
Very
And
good.
same format you can run at tier 2 city.
Yes,
You
yes, yes.
being a nodal agency of this, initiator of this Innovation Summit. You can
Mhm.
start this. You can talk to Solapur University, sir.
Of course, of course.
For that,
I will take coordinate with the Solapur University only.
Solapur University. On
Yeah, yeah.
top of that, what I can do is I will connect you with the few other government agency. ज्यांच्या बरोबर maybe if they can would like, if you can talk to them and if they agree, you can consider them as an execution partner also.
Okay.
जरी त्यांचं नाव जरी तुमच्या त्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीज मध्ये लागलं, so this will give a great impact for the overall success of the Innovation Summit. I shall share few of the international expert also if you want.
Yes, yes, yes. Please.
They can act as a resource person to your
Yeah, yeah.
Innovation Summit.
Very good.
So yes, you can take this call being in tier 2 city and
Yeah, yeah.
make sure that whenever you do the outreach of this Innovation Summit activity, you tag to MOE
Yeah, yeah. Very
for
true.
that.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, Naikodi sir, we have to take very positively this innovation summit.
And in that format, only cases you ask the respective faculties to submit the idea proposal or the product proposal with the very fresh note. It should
Yeah.
not be in relevance with the problem statement of the PhD or the problem statement of the MTech. Because in that case, conflict of interest will arise in the later
Yeah,
stage.
yeah. Okay,
And
barabar.
the novelty may get compromised, sir. And this problem statement should not be limited to the publication of the paper. It should be it should have a scope of the product development and the innovation and the startup in future. So accordingly, you have to put up the to-do list or the rules and regulation for the innovation summit.
Okay, okay. Very good. I have noted most of the points. Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I think, Pradeep sir, you have given a very good insight what is expected to be done. And that's why we wanted to have this interaction. Basically, like agenda was just to have something in mind, what exactly we're going to discuss. But when me and Naikodi sir, we discussed, that time we thought that, okay, let it be question answer based kind of session. And you have answered most of our queries, probably like more than that what we were expecting. Thank you for being here. And of course we'll require your help and guidance at every stage, and we'll trouble you, sir. Please pardon with us.
Always welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Naikodi sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
With this note, like I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Pradeep Dhage sir for accepting our invitation and hosting this panel discussion. I would like to thank Principal Sir, Vice Principal Vyavharis Sir, Vice Principal Jagdish Sir, all HODs, all the staff, office bearers of IIC, NISP, ARIA ranking, all the coordinators for actively taking part into this discussion. Definitely, we have got so many positive inputs, and it's really we have got these things. We'll be implementing it in our future. And with this note, just a small request, like whoever can switch on their cameras, please we have a photo of that so that I can keep it in record. So whenever
Yes.
we have this report submission, at that time we can have this snap with us. So I request all those who can switch on the cameras, please switch on the cameras.
Most of them are working from home. Probably they will not be able to switch on. It's okay. Whoever, for whomever it is possible, they can switch on. Yeah. Thank you. There are two parts basically. Doing the activity successfully, that is one part, and keeping the record is also very important.
Yeah. I would request Naikodi sir to tag this screenshot to MOE on a Twitter handle and LinkedIn, so that Mr. Dr. Abhay Jere will also come to know from the tier 2 city the same your institute is doing very proactive activities and work.
Yes, yes.
And Abhay Jere is continuously looking all these activities.
Is it?
You have a Telegram channel also. On the Telegram channel, you can drop this activities, minutes of meeting also.
Yeah. Naikodi sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. I have noted this because in the previous discussion also, sir had given me this suggestion.
Yes.
Do the report compiling of all the activities that you are taking under this. Yes. So I will keep a record, sir, of this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Pradeep sir. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good day, sir.
Thank you, Dhage sir.
Yes.